Notes from the Underground, novel by Fyodor Dostoevsky, Part 2, Chapter number 1. पार्ट 1 में 11 चैप्टर्स है. हमने वो प्रीवियस वीडियो में ऑलरेडी डिस्कस कर लिए हैं एंड अभी हमारा पार्ट 2 स्टार्ट हो रहा है एंड इसमें चैप्टर टोटल 10 है एंड चैप्टर नंबर 1 से मैं स्टार्ट कर रही हूँ. The man telling the story. As we all know, the underground man, talks about what his life was when he was 24 years old. He lived all alone and did not have any friends. He worked in an office, but he did not talk to the other workers. He thought they did not like him and looked at him in a mean way. Sometimes he thought he was smarter than them, but other times he felt very small and weak compared to them. He was always thinking too much and getting sad or angry. He wanted to feel something, so he went to bad places in the city, like dark bars and dirty streets. One time he saw a man get pushed out of a bar window. He thought it looked exciting and wanted something like that to happen to him. He went into the bar and a big army officer pushed him aside like he did not even matter. This made him feel very angry and embarrassed. The underground man got obsessed. He wanted to show the officer he was just as important. He followed the officer secretly. He planned to bump into him on the street to show, hey, I am a person too. He even borrowed money to buy a nice coat and had to look rich and important. Finally, he walked on the street and did not move aside. When the officer came, they bumped shoulders, but the officer did not notice him. The underground man felt proud for 1 second, but then he felt really silly and sad again. In chapter number 1, the underground man wants people to see him and care about him, but he does not know how to talk to people or make friends. He thinks too much and ends up feeling lonely and angry. Chapter number 2. The underground man's dreams and desire for connection. After feeling proud for a moment, the underground man starts to feel sick and regretful. To escape these bad feelings, he spends a lot of time daydreaming. In his dreams, he imagines himself as a great hero, loved by everyone. He dreams for 3 months straight, feeling happy and excited. He imagines doing wonderful things and being admired by all. But after a while, he realizes that these dreams are not real. He wants to feel this love and admiration in real life, not just in his imagination. So he decides to go out and meet people. He remembers his old boss, Anton, who invites people over for tea every Tuesday. The underground man goes there, hoping to feel connected to others, but when he's there, he feels awkward and does not know what to say. He listens to boring talks about work and feels out of place. Afterward, he feels a little better, but also more confused about what he really wants. One day, feeling very lonely, he decides to visit an old school friend named Simon. Even though they have not close, the underground man hopes that Simon will understand him better. He feels nervous but also hopeful that this visit will help him feel less alone. In chapter number 2, the underground man dreams of being a hero because he wants to feel important and loved. He tries to connect with people, but he feels awkward and unsure of how to feel in. He hopes that by reading out to others, he can find the connection and understanding he longs for. In chapter number 3, the underground man goes to Simon's apartment and finds two old schoolmates there. They are planning a farewell dinner for Jivok, another former classmate who is now an army officer. The underground man dislikes Jivok because he was arrogant and boastful in school. Despite not being invited, the underground man insists on joining the dinner, hoping to gain them respect. Simon reluctantly agrees, but the underground man realizes he does not have enough money to pay for a share. He decides to attend anyway, even though he knows he is not wanted. Flashback to school days. The underground man reflects on his time in school. He was an orphan and did not get along with his classmates, who often mocked him. He tried to gain them approval by excelling academically, but he still felt isolated. He had one friend, but he treated him poorly, and the friendship ended. After school, he cut ties with everyone and chose a humble career, distancing himself from his past. Preparing for the dinner. The next day, the underground man initially prepares for the dinner. He worries about his appearance, especially a yellow stain on his trousers, that he believes he will make him look undignified. Despite his connection, he hires a cab to take him to the dinner, hoping to make good impression. In chapter number 3, the chapter highlights the underground man's internal conflict and desire for recognition. He simultaneously despises the former classmates and longs for their approval. His actions reflect a deep-seated need for validation and a complex relationship with his past and present social interaction. In chapter number 4, The Underground Man at the Dinner. The underground man arrives at the Hotel de Paris an hour early for the dinner, only to discover that the time had been changed 6 o'clock. He feels embarrassed and waits alone. Imagining that the waiters are judging him when the others arrive, they laugh at him for waiting so long, and Jivok treats him condescendingly. The underground man becomes upset and insists on paying for his own meal, even though he has little money. The others continue to ignore him and he feels humiliated. The underground man's reaction. As the evening processes, the underground man becomes increasingly drunk and isolated. He tries to join the conversation but is mocked for his behavior. In a fit of frustration, he challenges Furfikin to duel, but others laugh at him, dismissing him as insane. He continues to pace around the room, hoping to draw attention to himself, but the others ignores him. Desperation, and humiliation. When the dinner ends, the group plans to visit a brothel. The underground man begs Simon for money to join them, and Simon reluctantly gives him 6 rubles. The underground man imagines that by going with them, he can either gain them respect or slap you walk in the face. He he views this as a chance to assert his dignity. Chapter number 5, The Underground Man's Journey to the Brothel. After the awkward dinner, the underground man borrows 6 rubles from his friend Simon and heads to a brothel where Jivok and his friends are expected. He fantasizes about confronting Jivok, imagining a dramatic scene where he slaps him, leading to a duel and a long imprisonment, only to return years later and forgive him. These thoughts are inspired by romantic literature, and he is aware that they are unrealistic. Realization and disappointment. Upon arriving at the brothel, the underground man finds that Jivok and others have already left. He feels a sense of relief as if he has been spared from a difficult situation. However, he is then introduced to a prostitute named Lisa. Despite his initial disgust, he feels a strange attraction to her. He noticed her simple dress and serious demeanor, which sets her apart from the other women. Self reflection. Looking into a mirror, the underground man sees his own deceived and angry face, which he finds repulsive. Oddly, he feels pleased that he appears unattractive to Lisa, as he believes she is judging him. This moment highlights his complex feelings of self loathing and desire for validation.